Just want to touch on the concept of Alzheimer's, dementia, etc. All these degenerative diseases that we tend to see in older guys, and how I believe it is more than just correlation to low testosterone, but a direct causation perhaps of low T, and why SHBG is notorious for guys with low total testosterone also being low on SHBG. For starters, if you look at SHBG as a buffer, right, it's essentially a binding protein. In essence, total testosterone takes into account the amount of testosterone found in serum based on concentrations. When you look at SHBG being low, the amount of testosterone that is actually bound is naturally going to be lower because more free testosterone is being utilized by the body. So bound SHBG is then decreased because there's less SHBG protein carriers to bind to the total T. So total T will always correlate to SHBG, whether high or low. And one of the reasons we find T perhaps as a total in the quote-unquote normal range in older guys is because SHBG tends to come up. So they're symptomatic for low T because their free T is exceptionally low, but their SHBG is high, and all of their primary physicians that are checking for this, or even some urologists and even endocrinologists, are telling guys, oh, your testosterone is 400, that's great, you're 65 years old, you're 70 years old, you're in the 400, 500 range, you don't need anything. That is because their SHBG is binding to it, and that testosterone is essentially not utilized as free T. Now, again, I'm not getting into the whole argument of whether bound testosterone is utilized. It very well may be utilized in some aspects, but we know from an androgen receptor type of activity that our testosterone is notorious for achieving for us, primarily the anabolic and androgenic properties of promoting cellular repair and preventing degenerative diseases. And this is back to the second point of Alzheimer's and dementia specifically, which are essentially brain damage, right? Death of cells, which is degenerative and irreversible. We know that an anabolic compound or an anabolic state of increased protein synthesis not only promotes repair, but also prevents catabolism, which essentially is what is cellular death over the course of time. So this is why I believe that a low T state is directly, and not just correlatively, but directly related to degenerative disease neurologically. And it's also why I believe we find somewhat normal testosterone level when only measuring total in older folks who have elevated SHBG, and exactly why you will find low total testosterone in guys who have low SHBG. This is another reason we like more frequent injections in low SHBG guys, not only because it allows SHBG to normalize over time, but because it maintains an optimal or more stable serum level, as opposed to just getting all that testosterone in one boost and then having it gone, within 24 to 48 hours. So that's my take on that. A little bit too long to type. Wanted to just put this video out there real quick.